but that leads us to have another conversation about someone else who definitely deserves part of the blame here.
Oh.
Doc Rivers, man. Doc. Doc. I'm about speechless about Doc, bro. You were okay. This is why I'm a little bit torn about Doc, man. It's his conferences. It's his press conferences after the fact, man. Like, okay, so after the game, he goes after reports talking about his job security, right? And he's talking about like, oh, when I got here, there were no. I'm paraphrasing, of course. There was no expectation for us to be where we at. You know, I brought us here. No one said we get here. I got us here. But I'm like, sir, sorry, excuse me for expecting you to be here. I mean, you got Joel Embiid who's playing lights out like an MVP candidate. You guys are up there in the standings, so of course I'm gonna think y'all gonna be there, right? Think about last season when you got there. You were literally brought in because you were expected to take them to another level, right? Their previous coach, they got them into the playoffs. Their previous coach even got them to an Eastern Conference Finals. I believe you were hired so you can get them to the finals. That's only fair. So you did have the expectation to get to a championship. So don't play that game with us. That's why you were brought in. That's why I was a little upset about Doc Rivers in that point. But is his job secure in Philly?
Daryl Morey, they want to bring him back.
Right.
To talk about the press conferences and, you know, hearing him talking about like, when I got here, and also paraphrasing, there were no expectations. Yes, there were. Of course there's expectations. You're Doc Rivers. You're supposed to be one of the top coaches of all time. You're a former coach of the year. You've won a championship. What do you think you're there for? You think you're the rebuild? No, you got Joel Embiid. Well, when you started, you had Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, and the team was already doing, you know, making the playoffs. So they expect you to elevate that. So no, I don't get the nobody expected this from us. Like, yeah, they expected something from you because just a couple of years ago, you've been there 2 years now. Also, it's not like you started from, you know, 10 years ago and now it's finally like coming together. No, like they already had been kind of established of like, oh, we're in the playoffs, we're pretty good, we're like fourth in the East. So no, there's an expectation there. And then his job security, it's on one end, I think it's unfair if he were to lose his job because I don't think it's a lack of effort on like coaching, you know, trying to get these guys to like commit and play is what he's there for. But I just think that they kind of gave up in that last game and there was no effort overall, obviously from James Harden, but you know, the team as a whole just gassed and we're like, that's it. We don't have anything else in the tank, so we're done. So that's not fair to him, but I think I've told you this before, man. Doc Rivers is just, since 2008, no championship, right? And then pretty much the past 10 years has just been middle of the pack. Get to the semifinals, that's it. If that. And at this point, I feel like he's moved so much. I don't know. I'm not sold on Doc Rivers, but I'm not advocating for his, you know, him to be fired or lose his job. But I think he's just kind of in a middle of the pack, kind of mid as a coach right now.
Yeah, and to be fair, he did have to deal with that Ben Simmons situation too. And for the most part, I thought he handled it pretty well. And that has a lot to deal with because there's a lot of outside noise with the questions about Ben constantly. The questions in the locker room as well. Like, is Ben actually going to play? And to get your team to a point where you're doing well without Ben Simmons, I give him credit for that. I do.
Yeah.
But it's just the lack of accountability, I guess, really. I mean, I guess you can make the argument that if they don't have Ben Simmons, that Philly wasn't going to go anywhere. But his comments imply that before he got there, that there were no expectations. That's not true. And it's just the comments that we have issues with right now. And it's his track record is not looking good. It's been years since he won a championship with Celtics. Years. Dang near. It's definitely been at least a decade, right? At least a decade since then. So, I don't know. And this is the same guy that the Lakers are holding out hope for, too. And if I'm the Lakers, I don't even know if I'm looking at Doc Rivers. I mean, sure, the players may respect him, maybe, but I would rather have someone else than Doc Rivers. I mean, I think I would prefer to have Monty Williams. I would rather have, Udoka looking pretty good so far, but I don't know. But at least, there are a lot of good coaches out here. I think they just need to do some more research to figure out who can be a good coach. It looks like these assistant coaches are doing really well. Like Udoka was an assistant coach, and he's doing great. Willie Green was once an assistant coach. Phenomenal job with the Pelicans right now. So, I don't know, Doc. Even though Daryl Morey said they'll keep Doc, I don't know. I would be like, just wait and see. I don't think his job is secure. Even though, despite the dramatic season they had, I would not be surprised if he got fired. And if he does get fired, it's just, man, getting fired from another team. And just, it'll be tough if he gets fired from Philly. Because there were high hopes when he first got hired there. I mean, I was very hopeful for them too. It's just, I don't know. It's tough.
We'll see. I'm just going off what I've heard and seen, but yeah, I don't doubt that his job is up in the air. So,
despite what Daryl Morey says, I don't care. I think his job is definitely up in the air. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Now let's